Let's say that you're going to hire a salesperson and pay him a salary of $50,000. If I were then to ask you what your break-even point was on that salesperson, what would you say? A very common response from business people when I ask that question is, well, my break-even point is $50,000. That would only be true if your gross profit was 100%, which means you had no production costs in materials or labor. But as soon as you enter in these other costs and your gross margin starts going down, your break-even point starts going up. Let's say that the gross profit in your company is 50%. We can now see that your break-even point on a salesperson making $50,000 is $100,000. That would create a lot of tension between you and your salesperson as soon as you discovered that you were $50,000 off in your assessment of what his break-even point was. But let's say that you're going to pay this salesperson a $50,000 salary plus a 10% commission. Since commissions are a direct cost of goods sold, it would lower your gross profit from 50% to 40%. You can immediately see the impact on your break-even point, which has now gone to $125,000. Also remember when running calculations for employees that you must consider the total annual cost of the employee, not just his salary. On top of that $50,000, let's say you're going to pay him a $400 a month auto allowance and $100 a month for a phone allowance, and you also have his labor burden for FICA, FUTA, SUTA, and workman's compensation. So when all is said and done, you more than likely have a $65,000 employee, not a $50,000 employee, and you actually have a break-even point now of $162,500. That is a far cry from the $50,000 break-even point that the less sophisticated business owner will assume he has. Let's now run a scenario assuming that you're going to buy a piece of equipment, let's say a production vehicle, and the vehicle is going to cost $30,000. Let's say you're going to take out a loan for the vehicle, and that loan is going to create an additional cost called interest. To calculate what our interest will be, we come down here and click on this link, and it will bring up a web page that looks like this. We can here see our $30,000 purchase amount with zero down payment and a loan term of 5 years. We expect an interest rate of about 7%. We come over here and click on the payment schedule and then click compute. We get a payment schedule that if we scroll down to the bottom of, we can see that we're going to be making interest payments over the life of that vehicle of $5,642. We go back to our calculator and type that number in here. If we want to know the lifetime break-even point of that vehicle, we just leave this next input blank. At a 40% gross profit, you can see that this person's break-even point is $89,000. If we want to know what the annual break-even point is on that vehicle, we can just simply type in the number of years we expect that vehicle to be in production, and let's say it's 5. So now the sophisticated business people will ask themselves, how far into the year will I get before that vehicle will create another almost $18,000 in sales? The more quickly you can do that each year, the lower the risk. The longer it takes into the year, the greater the risk. If you would like a free copy of this break-even point calculator, just email us at info@theeffectiveleader.com.